I wasn't talking about it appropriately.
That should be the new intro thing we go for. Just somebody saying a horrific line to start with.
Luke Williams just talking about like general events, giving his like vibe on things.
Well, we did try and make a podcast about this 15 years ago before podcasts were a thing.
Yeah, we were riding that podcast train.
If we'd stuck with
Spitting
it,
feathers.
we'd be flying now, Spitting Feathers. I think it's still out there. Is it still on iTunes?
I don't know. iTunes doesn't exist anymore, does it?
Do you know?
I think it does.
Apple Music.
I've got loads of like TV
These
shows
aren't
on
the
my
droids
iTunes. I hope
you're
it does.
looking for.
Somebody should go on iTunes and look for our old podcast.
Yeah.
Spitting Feathers.
Three quality episodes.
Oh, that's great.
I love that you're
Learn
advertising
about
it now.
my old
So that's
outdated
our.
opinions
That's
on
our.
elderly people.
Yeah, it's.
It took me getting old to change my opinions.
More tolerant now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Months ago.
Sounds problematic.
That's
this
our
thing.
old content. What's our new content?
Oh, segue.
Oh, nice. Well
I
done.
believed it was a submarine, actually.
Is that the time?
Yeah. Shaz got a cock. You've been warned, right?
Oh, dear.
Fucking hell.
Welcome back.
We're off.
This is our second iteration. It's why we are totally skipping the intros. My sound didn't work.
Yeah, we had a great one before, but it's Iolo's mic wasn't working, so
Fantastic.
we haven't got the
As
energy
is
to repeat that
always the
gold.
case.
Is he working now?
Yes, my bar's moving at the very least, so I assume it is. That's all I can do at this point is just assume. So I think I am. How's everyone doing? Everyone's all right? We've covered this. It's been 3 weeks since we last did it. Barely remember what happened last. 4. Shit.
Get your
It's the
fucking
dates
numbers
stamp.
right,
We can't
rabbits.
get away with that sort of inaccuracy.
Yeah. Facts matter.
Oh my god. You called out.
Facts matter.
Right.
Yeah, it's been 4 weeks.
Is what it's telling me now. Which
Doing well,
means
doing well.
reconnection successful. So we're back, apparently. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea. It's never happened before. I've never even seen that message before. But
I don't know. I did not have sex with that message.
I'm recording anyway, so I can just put it on later if needs be. It's no big
I
deal.
think the stream's fine. I think.
Okay,
we're good.
cool. Anyway, yes, I had a month to do this, and like within a week, I pretty much had it like decently finished, and I have just absolutely fiddled and fretted and like worried about it because this episode is kind of based on like another story I started completely unrelated to this, and then I thought, oh, that'd be a good idea for this, and so I like kind of like continued from my original concept of a story to make this episode, and then it ended up being 50 pages and I was like, no friggin' way am I making it 50 pages. So I just started like taking a cleaver to it, and the thing that I cleaved was the original story that I started from in the first place. So it's just like
But wasn't that your whole inspiration for wanting to launch us? Because we're onto a new sort of series, aren't we?
So like, it's still a continuation. I mean, it's still in But Suddenly Spirits. It still very much is in a continuation. We might see old characters, but I mean, why would I say might?
So now you've lost me, because I thought the whole thing is we were starting a whole new ball game here, and then what I've just heard is you wrote all a great new script, and then went, no, bring the debonair back and get rid of all that stuff.
No, the Debonair's not back. I just felt like dirty,
Or
like
is he?
completely disregarding the Chateau saga. So there's like some references to the Chateau saga and stuff.
Okay.
And it's
But it was so neatly wrapped up.
I know, yeah, yeah, it sort of was, but there was like still like a
It
little
was,
thing.
I was invested in the last story.
Yeah,
it was
that was a-
sad.
If you've undone our fantastic double parter, I'm going to be very upset.
I have not undone a thing, mate. Absolutely nothing. I would never.
I did,
touch that baby. My baby.
I did say last time I felt sad that those characters weren't going to be around, so it's fair enough if you've kept them going in some capacity.
Just sort of like passing references. You'll see what I mean. Like it's like kind of like an homage to the past, more than them coming back in fully fledged form.
As I remember it, like your idea was that you had an idea for like a sort of a spec script type idea. So it was going to be like one self-contained thing, and then each of us could just write a new sort of instance of it. Is that still the case?
It still is the case, yeah. So that's kind of why I fretted over it, is because there was this like weird balance that I had to make of like making a fun original script that like that had all my ideas in it, but fundamentally like came at the cost of like exposition and explanation that like you then would have to take the like umbrage of doing in your episodes. Or I could make an episode that is just like very exposition heavy, sort of like explains what the entire idea is pretty much straight away, so that you guys aren't burdened by that, so that like you don't have to like, the entire concept of this is that it's a complete like it's a different from the last saga, where you had to sort of like pretty much like fastidiously read through the previous episodes to remember some clues and remember what happened and stuff, whereas this one, like, you don't have to, like, you just have to remember the core concept and you can write something completely anew. It does, in some instances, it does look like I've kind of like not like painted you in a corner, not to that, like, but I like, you know,
don't spoil it. You're spoiling it.
No, I'm not spoiling it. I'm just saying, like, it seems like I've gone like, you're not allowed to play with this concept. It's very rigid, but I'm mostly like doing that to help you guys not having to explain that, but you can easily just like disregard all that stuff later.
That's cool.
Adam and Burge, you have a lot of heavy lifting. And
That's what I like to hear.
I have a fair few things that I want, like a few like things that I want to explain at the end as well, like some ideas that I had for it going forward. But at this point, I can't really talk very much more without actually spoiling it. As Luke has warned me about.
Sounds like it's been a bit of a juggling act. So yeah, I'm forward to getting into it.
I'm so grateful. I'm very excited. The 50-page one. Yeah, cool. It should be fun. Right. So let me just, Luke Williams, give me a sound, please. Oh, that was very
skadoosh. I stole that. That was shameless. I stole that of Jack Black.
The transition thing didn't even work, so it means nothing realistically. I mean, you can try it again.
Yeah, so got to see Luke's face during it. There you go. So I felt more pure that time.
Yeah. I wish people could have seen his face during that one as well. That's something special.
I could see his face. My eyes. Let's squeezed out.
Great.
Okay, we're beginning.
Right. So we'll just get into it, shall we?
Cool.
I've not rearranged us, so Adam's still at the top. But who cares? That's one thing I forgot. Right. Previously, fade in.
I am Bucklon. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Exterior, Barbados Beach Bar day. The driver sits at a bar, smiling happily as she looks out towards the sunny beach sprawling ahead of her. A barman brings over a lavish cocktail with an umbrella in it. She turns on her stool, as she notices someone on the far table. Sat around the table are 5 handsome gentlemen. Phil, Iolo, Adam, Burge, and Luke all sit with their own lavish cocktails. The driver smiles and raises a glass in their direction. They return the gesture. The group turn to one another.
Well, seems that sorted itself out.
Hang on, so my Oscar was what? An alternate reality? Or was it in this reality? If so, how do I get back there?
It's not worth thinking about. All that matters is everything sorted itself out. And all was all tied up in a neat little bow.
Was. So, what do we do now?
There's a pause amongst them as they consider the question.
Spinner?
The group cheers. When suddenly, the ground reverberates. An almighty quake erupts from beneath the beachside bar. Our gaggle of gorgeousness look at one another nervously.
The fuck now?
Perfect. We hear the shattering of cocktail glasses from across the bar as screams are heard in the distance. Looking over towards the beach, we witness a colossal wave crashing against the shore. Generic screams.
Might not be as neat a bow as we'd hoped, boys.
A deafening frog's croak bellows through the sky. That's great. We bear witness to a kaiju-sized frog burst forth from the depths of the ocean. People flee for their lives, including our handsome counterparts. The frog is followed by legions of tadpoles, standing upright on their tails. They crawl from the ocean like zombies, bearing down on the humans, still stuck on the beach, leaping upon them and tearing the flesh from their bones.
What we've got here, folks, is a Iolo script.
I had you say that in the script, and then I was like, someone's going to say it anyway. I literally had Adam, definitely a Iolo episode, and I went, no, I don't even need to write it.
We know each other so well.
White Flash 2, interior, old tavern, day. To the chirpy tune of a harp, we're suddenly transported to an old wooden tavern. The place is bustling with people in traditional clothing, drinking merrily and dancing. The door at the entrance creaks open, revealing a beautiful pale woman, Catherine, in a flowing gown wearing an intricate headdress. She's fashioned with a variety of expensive jewellery. She enters the tavern. She pushes away past a few drunken patrons who glance at her longingly before making her way toward the bar.
Excuse me, barkeep. A glass of your finest European wine, please.
The barman turns to fetch her drink. Meanwhile, an uncouth, bedraggled man, leaning on the bar for stability, looks over in her direction and flashes a horrid smile, revealing his rotten teeth. He begins stumbling over in her direction.
Excuse me, pretty lady. Couldn't help not noticing news from across the bar there. I was wondering whether you...
Away from me, you vile man. I do not have time for your...
Catherine falters a moment, stumbling backward from the bar, startling the drunken man. She wobbles on the verge of fainting.
Away from me, you...
The drunken man recoils in shock as Catherine loses her mind. Her eyes roll into the back of her head as if her brain is melting. The entire bar look on in horror. With a quick shudder, Catherine snaps out of her strange trance, revenge for Red Bull. She stands in bewilderment as if she's almost become lucid and only just realised where she is. Normal voice.
Gross.
You all right?
Oh, God, hate it. Feel horrible. Awful feeling. Like hitting your brain's funny bone.
Catherine notices the patrons of the bar staring at her.
What? What are you looking at?
Catherine recoils in disgust.
Jesus, smells like shit in here.
Catherine is momentarily startled when a voice that only she hears booms around her with no obvious source.
Did it work?
Catherine screams into the air at the unseen voice.
What?
The drunken man slowly backs away and the crowd look puzzled as Catherine begins talking to the ceiling.
Did it work? Are you in?
I think so.
Well, you either are or you aren't. What do you see?
Catherine looks around, noticing the crowd all looking at her.
Can't a person have a private conversation anymore? I'm in a pub, shitty old pub. Everyone's dressed like chimney sweeps and there's a guy playing a weird, huge, stringy thing.
A harp?
Don't know the name of the place. Didn't see a sign.
No, it's... Never mind. Give me a second while I scan your brainwaves.
Catherine looks around at all the patrons stare at her. She squares her shoulders and addresses them.
All right, lads. Good night. Getting leery, eh?
She surveys her surroundings.
Lovely place you got here. Really like the atmosphere.
Catherine raises her foot, realising the ground is covered in hay and dirt. She recoils in horror when she realises she's wearing heels. She screams into the ether, startling the tavern's patrons once more.
James!
Hang on, Adrian. I've not got a reading yet.
I'm wearing heels.
What?
I'm wearing fucking heels.
Catherine takes note of her clothing, the fine gown draped in jewels. She notices an old cracked mirror behind the bar and stares at it in horror.
Oh God, James. I'm a woman.
There's no response.
James, you hearing me?
That's the least of our problems.
Suddenly, Catherine is interrupted by a small man tugging at her dress. He's dressed in fine attire, wearing a large, intricate hat. He seems to be panting furiously.
Madame, I'm glad I found you.
What? Who are you?
Shit. Adrian, this is bad.
You're needed. Visitors.
Sort of in the middle of something. Go on, piss off.
The courtier is taken aback by her cursing.
Madame, I fear it's rather pressing.
Pressing? Pressing what?
Means urgent, you numbnut. But never mind that, Adrian.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, right. Well, I don't give a shit. Waddle on, dickface.
Please, madame, you must. You need to follow me.
The courtier grabs Catherine by the arm and drags her out the pub.
Get your hands off me, you Lord Farquaad looking shit.
Adrian, listen.
I'm not familiar, madame. My apologies for manhandling you, but he was quite insistent.
Adrian, you're Catherine Howard.
Cut to exterior streets day. The courtier drags Catherine out of the cavern. A horse-drawn carriage idles atop the cobblestone streets.
Catherine Howard? Who's that?
Did you ever listen in school?
Just this way, ma'am.
No, I cheated off you, remember? You're the smart one. Come on, who is she?
She's one of Henry VIII's wives.
Oh, shit. He was the one with the 6, right? Wait, didn't he... Oh, God, James. Which one was she?
An urgent matter has arisen.
Jesus Christ, Adrian. Do you know any history?
Divorced, beheaded, or died, James?
There's no response. Catherine is dragged towards the back of the carriage.
Divorced, beheaded, or died?
The courtier opens the door to the carriage.
Beheaded.
My beautiful flower, it's good to see you. I apologize for interrupting your personal time, but something has come up, my sweet. We're needed at the manor.
Regal Fatty is fantastic.
And Phil, or Regal
By the way,
also
sir.
fantastic.
Nailed it.
Fuck.
The courtier, Henry VIII, and the other nobles in the carriage recoil from her exclamation. After a moment of silence, the king laughs heartily.
I have that effect on people.
Already loving Phil as Henry VIII.
Oh my god.
But suddenly,
the head of state, written by
Head of
Iolo
State,
Roberts.
nice.
Cut to interior, dilapidated hospital, present day.
Yes.
That's the idea I had. We find ourselves in a dilapidated hospital room, medical equipment adorning the walls. A man in his 30s, wearing glasses and a lab coat, James, scrolls through his iLife tablet, researching Catherine Howard. On a gurney to his side is another 30ish male, unkempt and equally unresponsive, Adrian. He lies on the gurney in what looks like a coma, an IV bag of clear fluid attached to his arm. Inside the IV bag is a small chunk of red crystal pulsating with energy. Adrian, still in a coma, begins panting frantically and sweating. James looks at him quizzically before putting a finger to a device wedged into his ear.
What are you doing?
Cut to exterior, streets, day. We return to a panting Catherine Howard, who is frantically running down the street as best she can in her newfound heels.
I'm pegging it.
Pegging it?
Yeah, pegging it.
Wait, what about Henry VIII?
Fuck Henry VIII. Pegging it.
You can't peg it. Get back there. Remember the mission.
Fuck the mission too. I am not being beheaded. Pegging it.
Stop fucking pegging it.
I'm not about to... Oh, shit.
Catherine stumbles over in her heels, falling flat on her face. She clutches her knee in pain.
Oh, fuck my knee.
What happened?
I fell, bloody heels.
Well, that's what you get.
Fuck this, James. Bring me back.
But the mission, Adrian. What about the mission?
It's a wash, James. I am not about to be beheaded. And I'm not going to be Henry VIII's wife. The portraits do not do his size justice. The guy's huge.
Cut to interior, dilapidated hospital day. James gets up from his seat beside Adrian and makes his way towards a large window of the room overlooking the city.
But the frogs, Adrian.
Outside the window, in the distance, we see a gigantic frog causing destruction within the city. Luke Williams. That's what I needed. Looking down towards the street below, we see human-sized tadpoles roam around like zombies, chasing hapless humans. Adrian speaks from his coma.
What's Catherine Howard got to do with giant kaiju frogs?
James turns to face Adrian's comatose body.
You know, it doesn't work like that, Adrian. Ever heard of the butterfly effect?
Cut 2, exterior, street stay. Catherine sits on the side of the street, nursing the wound on her knee.
The Ashton Kutcher movie.
Honestly, Adrian, read one book. Just one. Every action in the past has serious ramifications on the future. Even something as innocuous as diverting a butterfly's path can have grave consequences. We have to do our best to ensure the timeline progresses as it did, or at least as close as it once did, to stop the fucking kaiju frogs.
This is not what I signed up for. You totally missold this to me.
Missold it? Missold our one opportunity to save the future from the colossal fuck-up we caused in the first place?
Yeah.
What did you expect? Nice little jaunt into the past, maybe inhabit some lowly postie in the 80s and make sure he finishes his route.
I mean, not exactly that, but...
Need I remind you that you're the one who turned the Gettysburg Address into a freestyle rap. You're the one who had Neil Armstrong do a literal moonwalk on the moon. You're the one who slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
All right.
I told you using those crystals would be bad news, but did you listen? No.
Didn't hear you complaining when you were Louis C.K. and got to cop off with Marie Antoinette.
It's so terrible, isn't it?
Ooh. 16th.
Pervert.
Louis the 16th, you idiot. But all right, fair enough. We're both to blame then, all right? But you have to fix it.
Well, why me? Why couldn't you come back here and do all this?
Because I'm the only one who had to put in an IV. So get to it, all right? Man up and go get beheaded.
All right. Louis the Fourth.
Sorry, that meant to be Louis the IV. It doesn't really quite work. Like vocally, I did consider cutting that, but I was like, I'll try it.
A text-based joke. I like it.
I know, yeah. For a vocal fucking stream, great.
Walked into that one, didn't I?
Very funny.
Cut 2, exterior, Hampton Court Palace. Later, Catherine ambles down a long path towards the lavish red brick palace. There's so much cut between these two scenes. So many things happened there. Horse carts come to and fro as handful of peasants tend to the manor's large garden. Catherine walks barefoot, having given up on her heels. She uses one hand to chow down a large slab of meat whilst her heels are in the other.
Literal pheasant. Absolutely delicious. Some bloke was selling them on the side of the street, so I gave him a necklace one.
You gave him crown jewels in exchange for a slab of meat.
Well worth it. Thing's still got its beak. Come pass it up. Smells like KFC. KFP, I suppose. Eh?
Yeah, good one. Except Kentucky doesn't exist yet either.
Catherine knocks on the large wooden door at the front of the Grand Manor. It swings open quickly. Henry VIII appears on its other side.
Who comes? Oh, my dearest. I've been worried absolutely sick.
I did enjoy writing this for Phil. Henry VIII rushes to her and grabs her in a big bear hug.
All right, calm down.
I've been sick with worry, seeing you rush off like that. I thought you might be mad at me for interrupting your personal time with the locals. I'm ever so sorry, my pooky wookie schmookums.
It's no bother.
Henry VIII ushers her inside to the lavish manor. The walls are adored with enormous, colourful portraits of brutal religious imagery. Expensive fabrics drape from the stone walls.
It won't happen again. I'll be sure to give you space you deserve, Rose Petal. It was just very urgent, you see. I have important men arriving here in a moment, and it would be a terrible shame if they didn't bear witness to my most precious of jewels.
Henry pinches Catherine's chin lovingly. She winces. Catherine surveys the surroundings.
Nice gaff.
Catherine's been there before, you idiot.
Henry doesn't seem to notice.
It is. But alas, these expensive paintings are no comparison to your radiance, my dear. I would happily burn this entire collection for a singular moment with you. It pains me to do this, my smookums, but I must dash. I have many preparations to make. Servants!
Henry VIII claps his hand and a collection of helpers congregate around him.
Surprisingly affectionate. Get my dearest Catherine here ready for dinner. Do whatever she wishes of you. Nothing but the best for my pooky, wookie, schmooky, wookie, schnookums.
Henry blows Catherine a kiss as he leaves for the Grand Hall, as enacted by Phil now. Philip? Boo. There we go. Excellent. That's some viewers.
It's a little blue.
It's one for a short.
Nice.
Would Madame like a change of clothing?
Why? What's wrong with this?
Catherine looks down at her gown, the bottom of which is caked in mud. She wipes pheasant grease on her corset.
Nothing, madam. It's positively delightful.
Thanks.
Any dietary requirements for Madame's this evening?
Oof, I'm absolutely stuffed. Literally just smashed a pheasant. Got anything light on the menu?
Not really, Madame. His Royal Highness is very particular about his foods.
I bet he is. What kind of salad for us, mate? Couldn't eat anything more, and it'd do him some good.
The chef ambles away. The maid goes to work cleaning Catherine's heels, trying to make her as presentable as possible. Catherine stands impatiently as she's tended to by the maid.
So, maid, eh? As good as it seems? Or is it not all it's cracked up to be?
Jesus.
It served me well. Keeps food on my children's table.
Oh, you tried pheasant? Good shit.
I wouldn't know, madam. Bit out of my price range.
Ugh, that sucks. So this king, big fan of me, isn't he?
Oh, he is indeed, ma'am.
Not picking up any heady vibes, are you?
Not at all, ma'am. You're nothing like that treacherous Anne Boleyn, and Henry worships the ground you stand on. He's changed man since he had that near miss on the horse. I'm sure you two will be betrothed for eternity.
The maid diligently continues to clean Catherine's shoes.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting to. One sec. James, you know this king? You sure he's to behead me?
The maid looks up.
I'm sorry, madam.
Oh no, sorry. Talking to my mate in the future. Kaiju frogs, time crystal, it's a whole thing.
The maid looks puzzled. She returns to cleaning Catherine's shoes.
You should be. You ought to be beheaded any day now. Why?
Guy's a lovesick puppy. Lapping at my feet. It's gross.
Strange.
What's he meant to behead me for anyway?
The maid begins wiping at Catherine's dress.
Incest.
What?
The maid recoils.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I was only trying to mop the stains from your gown.
Oh, not you. Sorry. Future guy.
Catherine points into the air. The maid looks puzzled, but returns to her work.
Yeah. Apparently she has an affair with a cousin. All hotly debated, though.
No way. I am not having an affair with the cousin. Not a chance.
The maid looks shocked.
I would never accuse you of such things, ma'am. Your relationship with... I don't know if you're on Scouts. Your relationship with Thomas is none of mine.
Catherine waves a finger in the air, stopping the maid in her tracks.
Future guy. Keep up.
The maid nods and continues.
It doesn't matter about all that. There's only so much we can do. Just get yourself beheaded and that should be good enough.
How am I meant to do that?
God, yeah. How could Adrian Beckett possibly annoy someone enough that they want to cause him physical harm? Simply impossible.
I need to be a dick about it.
This is literally what you were made for. Your one and only skill. All you have to do is annoy him. Piss him off to the extent he wants to murder you. Should be easy enough. I've almost been there myself a few times.
All right, steady on.
Go forth, young Adrian, and cause havoc.
Catherine smirks. The maid finishes the preparations on her dress and stands to the side.
There you go, madam. All sorted.
Thanks, love. Oh, and here.
Catherine removes an expensive-looking bracelet and tosses it to the maid.
Get you and your kids a pheasant.
The maid looks at the bracelet in awe. She watches Catherine storm down the hall confidently, a grateful tear falling down her cheek. Cut 2, interior Grand Hall. Later, Henry VIII sits upon his throne in the midst of his delegation of nobles. The throne to his side is noticeably empty. Catherine bursts in.
Hey, Henry. Lads. Sorry I was so late. Was busy banging my cousin. Just straight getting turned inside out by the guy.
Oh God, you're such a good reader. You're reading this excellently, all of you. The people in the hall are aghast. There's a long pause. They look towards Henry nervously. Henry begins laughing heartily.
Oh, Catherine, my dear. I do so love your humour. It really is a breath of fresh air.
The Grand Hall all breathe a collective sigh of relief.
Prick. You fat little knob. You big, ugly shit face.
Oh, darling, you excite me. Save it for the boudoir.
Oh, I know. I'm a man. I'm a man trapped inside a woman's body. My real name's Adrian.
I think you need to pause.
I was requesting a pause.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. My audio briefly went, but now it's back definitely. So we can carry on.
Real names.
Can we take it from? It's of no concern to me. Sorry, I don't think I quite heard that on my recording side of things.
Yeah, so I hadn't done that yet. So no concern to me. So it's of no concern to me, my love. I often feel like a prisoner in my own body as well. We can work through it, my darling. Adrian.
That's weirdly progressive of you.
Please, my love, take a seat. I long for your presence beside me.
Catherine sighs and takes a seat beside Henry, defeated.
Doesn't seem to be working, James.
Cut to interior, dilapidated hospital day. James sits beside his comatose friend.
I'll keep trying. You're sure to piss him off eventually.
James notices something on Adrian's knee. It looks like a bruise.
Adrian, had you hurt your knee before we put you under?
No, why?
Oh.
What?
Nothing. Just, we need to make sure you're not in the body when you get beheaded.
What? Why?
Seems whatever pain you enjoy in that body, you enjoy in your actual one too. And, well, if you were to be beheaded...
Cut to interior Grand Hall day. We'll return to the Grand Hall where the royal delegation wait for their visitors.
What?
Henry VIII is taken aback by Catherine's exclamation.
What is it, my goodness? My God, that's right. My goodness.
Both work.
Variable. Sorry, bud.
Me too.
Oh, God.
We hear the sound of trumpets announcing the visitors have arrived. The doors swing open as three recognisable noblemen walk in. Alexander, Sebastian and William. Editor's note from the Chateau saga.
We know, Yola, we know.
That's for all the viewers.
Sorry.
Cut to interior, dilapidated hospital day. James, listening intently to his earpiece, suddenly hears a banging coming from the corridor outside their isolated room. He slowly meanders over. He peers his head out the door. At the end of the corridor is a tadpole, smashing his way into each room on the ward on the hunt for humans.
Shit.
Cut to interior Grand Hall day. Alexander, Sebastian and William stand in front of Henry VIII.
Well, it isn't my esteemed financiers. A pleasure to see you all. Any more insights for me to expand my already significant wealth?
Absolutely, Your Highness. And as always, we only ask for a small bag of your minted coin in return. Alexander, Sebastian and William smirk to one another.
You winning?
Nope, nothing's working.
We'll get it moving. Time is of the essence.
All right, no need to rush me.
We've a new investment opportunity for you, Your Highness.
Well, this is awkward.
What? What is it, darling?
These three totally banged me. Awesome, with the lot of them.
Well, I've got a favourite thing to get Burge to say. Totally banged me. Alexander, Sebastian and William exchange concerned looks. Henry VIII stands in anger.
What?
Here we go. Yup, we totally did it. Bone Zone. Destination. Us lot.
We did no such thing.
You dare take advantage of my poor Catherine?
Wait, what?
What? No, she's lying.
You slander her in my presence.
No, we wouldn't. We would never. Henry calls for his guards.
Take these vile men away. Have them executed immediately.
Wait, no, hold on. There's been some sort of misunderstanding. The men are dragged away.
My dear, I apologize for introducing these vile men to my court, only for them to take advantage of you in such a way. I hope you can forgive me, my delicate water lily.
Fuck's sake.
Let us not allow these vile men's advances upon you, nor your newfound gender identity, get between us, my sweet. Our bond is strong. I love you as I did the very first time I laid eyes on you, my ample-breasted goddess.
Jesus.
New favourite thing for Phil to say. The doors to the court open once more, and the chefs bring in trays of food with fancy silver coverings.
Ah, delightful. Hopefully some food can cheer us up and rid us of such vile memories.
Catherine leans on the table dejectedly. The plate
Best with me.
The lids on the food are lifted, revealing healthy salads.
What is this? Salads? What is the meaning of this?
Hold on.
Nailed that.
Oh, sorry, please.
It was the Queen. She instructed us to...
The crowd is awash in nobility and peasantry alike. Catherine is carted towards the stage by two burly guards.
James, I did it. You ready? You ready to bring me back? James.
Cut to interior dilapidated hospital day. James, panicked, is moving every bit of furniture in the room to bar the door to the corridor in hopes of keeping away the tadpole.
1 sec, bud.
Cut to its exterior, Tower London day. Catherine continues to be carted through the swathes of onlookers. Swaths?
1 sec. What do you mean 1 sec? You better be ready to bring me back.
Shh, keep quiet. Having some issues on my side. Oh, and you're not coming back.
What? What do you mean I'm not coming back?
Cut to interior dilapidated hospital day. In the corridor, Adrian's yelling draws the ire of the tadpole.
Keep quiet, for fuck's sake. You're not coming back. We only have 1 shot at this.
What do you mean?
Shut the fuck up. We smoked most of the crystal we found, remember? We only have this little bit left. Why do you think we used the IV? You're going to have to stay in the past.
There's Catherine Howard.
There's a bang at the door. The cupboard James put in place begins to quake.
Can you be quiet? No. I can stimulate your brain, move you onto another body, but you can't come back until we correct the timeline.
Cut to exterior, Tower London day.
You told me this now, but you'll be okay to shift me over before I get beheaded, right? Right?
Yeah, of course. Just
We hear a loud crash from James's side as a wardrobe gives way.
stall.
1 second. Oh, I'm back. Okay, sorry. My microphone just keeps cutting out for some reason. Sorry about that. Catherine is escorted past a smaller stage overlooking the crowd. Sat on a small table holding legs of pork to their mouths as microphones are 2 commentators. And what a day it has been, folks. We've already seen the execution of the King's 3 new fan financiers, and now we move on to the main event.
And what a day for it, Fred.
Indeed, Edwin, a fine sunny day here at the Tower of London, where the former Queen of England, Catherine Howard, is on her way to the block. The tension in the air is palpable, Edwin, and the crowd is electric.
Electric?
Fair point. The King's Guards are currently preparing the Queen for her beheading.
What's this one done then, Edwin?
Well, I have a note here from the King himself. Says, just say she banged her cousin or something. Seems she was in a relationship with a cousin, Fred.
Ooh, we've all been there, Edwin.
Can't say we have, Fred.
We've all got that one cousin, Edwin.
Do we, Fred?
Oh, aye. Forbidden love. Tangible chemistry. A longing within you both that could erupt a passionate love-making at any moment.
Don't think it's that common, Fred.
For dozens of us, Edwin.
Right. Might be a conversation for off-air, Fred.
Off-air?
Another fair point. Let's now go live to the main stage where Catherine is being prepared for her execution. Cut to exterior, Tower of London, stage continuous.
That's it. That's a short. That's a
Catherine is brought onto the stage for the guards, where she comes face to face with her executioner, a leather mask wearing behemoth. Catherine struggles under the guards' grasps.
We sure you want to do this now, lads? It's such a lovely day. How about we wait a few hours, eh? Grab a quick pheasant.
Put her over there.
He's a pirate.
Excellent choice. The guard drags Catherine to the block, despite her protests.
Don't need to rush it, do we, lads? Let's savour it, eh? James, where the fuck are you?
Cut to interior, dilapidated hospital day. A wardrobe blocking the door lies on the ground. James has his full weight against the door as it buckles and bulges under the tadpole's weight. Suddenly, the door bursts open, pushing James to the floor. Stood in the doorway is a grotesque, monstrous tadpole. It snarls its tadpole teeth at James. James rushes to his feet.
Steady now. Stall.
The tadpole lunges toward him. Cut to exterior Tower London stage. The guard force Catherine's head into the pillory. She fights them.
Guys, aren't you going to give it a wipe down first? Seems unsanitary. I don't think it'll even fit my head. Got one in a smaller size?
One size, no clean, only chop. Choppy, choppy, good time.
Well, you're delightful. Where are you from? Tell me everything about you. Family, kids, hobbies, do much fishing?
No talk, only chop.
Cut to interior dilapidated hospital day. James wrestles with the tadpole. He grasps tightly to the tadpole's thin body, pulling it away from him as it nips at his face, but seems to be losing his grip. Cut to exterior Tower London stage. Same time. The pillories close on Catherine's head.
Chop time. Time to chop.
The executioner fetches his large axe.
Hold on now, hold on. Don't I get my final say? Last words. All the other executions I've been to allowed them to have a final say.
They did?
Yeah, totally.
The executioner considered this a moment.
Okay.
He waits patiently, motioning Catherine to continue.
Well, good. Glad we can finally follow protocol here. Well, I just wanted to say that
You have something to say?
No, hold on. I do. It'll come to me.
The executioner becomes exasperated and approaches her with his axe.
No, hold on.
The executioner stands beside her, raising his axe.
Well, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, to tell you how I became the Princess of Bel-Air.
The executioner lowers his axe. The crowd look on, enthralled. Cut to interior, dilapidated hospital day. James still struggles with the tadpole. With an almighty push, he manages to get it off him. The man-sized tadpole tumbles backwards against a nearby wall, snarling its teeth. Suddenly, the pair are interrupted by Adrian.
Chill out, relaxing, all cool.
James and the tadpole stare at Adrian's body a moment in bewilderment.
What the hell?
The tadpole lunges toward him and they continue their struggle. Cut to exterior Tower London stage later.
I looked at my kingdom. I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Princess of Bel-Air.
Catherine finishes her story. There's a silence for a moment. The executioner wipes a tear from his eye. The crowd go wild. What a turn of events, Fred. A beautiful tale told by the Queen there. Absolutely astounding.
You're right there, Edwin. I have no idea what a b-ball is, but it sounds like a delightful event.
That it does, Fred. Now on with the show. Cut to exterior Tower London stage continues. We return to the stage where the execution resumes with proceedings.
Good story. I like, but not for choppy chop.
The executioner gets into position.
It's menacing.
No, wait.
Cut to interior dilapidated hospital same time. James continues to struggle with the tadpole when suddenly the tadpole convulses with a blue energy. The tadpole momentarily backs away, where it suddenly shrinks in size by about a foot. The certainty of Catherine's beheading rectifying the timeline somewhat.
Holy shit, Adrian, it's working.
James takes advantage of the momentary distraction and lunges towards the tadpole. Now that it's somewhat smaller, James is able to overpower it, throwing it out of the third-story window. The tadpole falls to its death. James breathes a sigh of relief. Cut to exterior Tower London stage, same time. The executioner raises the axe high above his head.
James.
Cut to interior dilapidated hospital day. James turns quickly on his heels.
Come in.
James runs over to Adrian's body, picking up defibrillator paddles from the table beside him. He lifts them above Adrian's body.
Claire.
James brings the paddles down on Adrian's body and shocks him. Cut to interior Tower London stage. The executioner begins to bring his axe down on Catherine's head.
James! What? Where the devil am I?
We hear the sound of an axe on flesh as Catherine's head is lopped off. Adrian's consciousness is shot out of her body just in time. The timeline, in this instance, rectified. Adrian's mind traverses through a strange bluish vortex on its way towards another hapless historical figure in a last-ditch effort to rectify the timeline and rid it of kaiju frogs as he takes his but sudden leap. There we go.
Hoping the next leap will be the leap home. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh
I
boy.
did think that would be really funny. It's like Adrian never returned home. Like it'd be like
Adrian spelled wrong.
Yeah, Adrian spelled wrong as well. Yeah.
That was awesome, man.
Oh,
That's so
I'm glad you
good.
liked it.
Yeah, really
I'm glad
good.
you enjoyed
Really
that.
good.
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Very nice.
I enjoyed
Now
writing
for the
it.
post-credit scene.
Yeah. Okay. Should we hit to the post-credit scene?
Give the people what they want.
Okay. Post-credit scene. Exterior Tower London. Post-chop interview. The executioner stands in front of a crowd of people. They all hold out legs of hawks as microphones to his face. They all desperately try and get his attention. Executioner.
Executioner.
The executioner points to one of them.
Thanks, Mip Coggins here, Tudor Gazette. How do you feel about the result tonight?
Well, you know, we went out there and did our best, and considering it all, I think we did okay. It's a game of two halves, and thankfully those halves came apart quite well tonight.
And what about the nobles? Seem to struggle with one of them there.
Yeah, I had a bit of trouble with the thicker of the three, but I made sure not to lose my head and ensured he lost his.
How would you say your performance today compared to Anne Boleyn?
Felt this one went a lot easier. Anne had a good head on her shoulders, which made it harder to look off. But I managed.
And what about...
No more questions. I've got to go. Wife's got dinner going.
Oh, very nice. What are you having?
Chops.
And the Oscar goes to... There we go. That's
Very
it.
nice.
That's the extent of it. So I like... That started as I talked to Adam and Phil. That's why I said Adam and Phil. I know you in particular liked it because we had a conversation about like writing for Quantum Leap, and then I wrote a story that was like Quantum Leap but funny. I think we briefly did. It was like hop, skip, and a jump, and then like hop and a skip and a jump developed into this idea I had where the hop side of it was giant kaiju frogs, and it was like them trying to rectify because I thought it was a good idea to like. It was a good way to like get into the cool bit without having to like do like long story about like how they go back in time and stuff. You can deal with that in the thing. But yeah, I have to do a lot of exposition there. That's why like I was like, it's good at the end, but at the start it's a lot of like, this is how we got here and this is what the rules are. And if you hurt in this bit, you hurt there, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to your entries.
No, it was really nicely balanced. It was good. It's a lot to get for people to get into going forward as well. It's going to be unlimited possibilities, I guess. So it's going to be exciting, interesting to see what people come up with. But no, I just thought it says like the structure of it is really well done. Like,
yeah. I quite like
it.
It's also like based on like because when Adam first did his like rejigging of like the first instance, he went back in like time and like did like a creation story sort of thing. And we briefly discussed like Hark Suddenly, and I thought this is kind of like a good way of having Hark Suddenly.
Yeah.
Whilst also like kind of latching on to some of the timey-wimey stuff we've done in the past. So it was good. The thing I was going to suggest is because even though I say this and I kind of don't want to say it now because Burge and Adam read them so well and they got like inhabited the characters, but I'll leave it up to whoever writes next. Is that like there is the possibility since like because it's like kind of like sad that like Burge and Adam don't get to play like fun exterior historical characters, that because Adrian jumps into different bodies, Adrian could be played by someone else, and or we can just go like Adrian and James gets played by someone else so that they got that, so that you know because Burge and Adam, I pretty much like only gave you those characters because they spoke pretty much like consistently through it, and so like us three got all the fun little side characters, but it's kind of a shame that you guys miss out on that. So, but I'll leave that up to whoever does it next.
Cool.
Just an idea.
We discussed, I guess.
That's my one character voice, so.
Plus, you do some great line readings as well.
Oh God, I was literally you guys read that so fucking well. Like even like Luke, like bringing to life the character of the maid. You forget when you write.
The maid was
like,
great. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I mean,
I don't want to like disrupt.
I think my best bit was my frog. Clearly.
Honestly, 100%.
Well, they're going to be pretty prominent as well. So.
yeah, I think so. And then I thought. Yeah, it's just you write it and you don't really like you picture like a way of it being said, but like you don't really like picture it fully, and then like Burge just encapsulated Adrian and Adam, like you go like you bring your own little characters to these actual characters, and it's like it makes them interesting. And I thought like it's really I just really like the idea of like Burge being like this main character, but I also like the idea of like Adam being like the voice in the head, like sort of like a you've been there before, you idiot, like sort of like the voice in the head. I was gonna have him be like a physical character, but I thought like him just being in the head just makes it easier. Don't have to like describe what James is doing every single time. But I enjoyed that.
It was fun, but it was all there in the writing, wasn't it? It was
100%.
Yeah. But
so good.
There was a lot of performance things there. It was ace. You guys nailed it, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed writing the execution scene. That was really fun.
Yeah. I love the concept of the sort of the commentators.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and there was a veiled hint there because, like, the famous thing about Henry VIII is that he's like he fell off a horse and became like miserable and fat afterwards, but like he was very doting in this. So, and they mentioned that he had a near miss on a horse. So, they've rectified this particularly instance, but it doesn't have to be like, that's the thing is, I originally had, this is true, I had 50 pages and a little bit was them talking to like Coleridge, the poet. And then I realized Coleridge is so not even born yet. What the fuck is my history knowledge about? Like, he's not even born. And I was like, I have to delete all this because he's not even a reference. And I was like, well, maybe Shakespeare can go there. Oh no, Shakespeare was like a child at this time. And I was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. So, yeah, it was a bloody nightmare. So I deleted all that. But then I was thinking to myself, like, it doesn't really need to stick to like the confines of actual history because we've established that they've already fucked up the timeline. So that's why I had like Legs of Lamb and all that silly sort of like comedy goofiness because the timeline's already fucked. They're just trying in small increments to fix it. But I very much look forward to you guys.
Can I say my line from the intro, the spinner?
Oh yeah.
yeah, 100% spinner. Let's do it. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Seamless. No one saw that. Right. So...
Literally nobody saw that.
Oh, good. I shouldn't have mentioned it at all. But, cool. All right. So, Luke, you want to be back in, don't you? You're tapping back in. Coolio. Okay. And then I was thinking as well, whilst we progress through this, we can discuss whether it's just a straight up 5 episode and we just move on, or if we enjoy writing them, maybe we can carry on for the 10 like we did for the last one. That's entirely your guys' prerogative. But let's spin it, shall we?
Sure thing.
Ooh, who's next? Looks to be Philip.
Oh, it's all...
Philly.
Is it going to be Philly? Woo! Cool. Let's do it. That's good.
Nice.
Funny, I had an idea very early on actually. So.
Oh,
that's
excellent. Oh, that's good to hear.
So the Debonaires, they come back.
Henry VIII of the Debonair.
Historical idea. Yeah. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
There's definitely some crossover.
I quite like that, like the idea that like this world is sort of like all encompassing, because that's why I mentioned like it's a red crystal, same as the red crystal from the chateau. And I mentioned the iLife tablet, which is like a reference to ages ago. So I quite like that we've mentioned this at the
I don't remember the iLife
tablet. Callback. Yeah, it was where is how Colin, aka the Debonair, like stimulated the dates.
Oh, from Adam's rom-com type thing. Yeah,
he was using an iLife. So
I picked up on it. I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, the crystals and the obviously, like you say, the financiers who are. No more.
I'm very much enjoying it. Anyone got like ideas that are just floating about, or do you not want to spoil them for yourselves? Like,
yes, I've had an idea.
Don't say anything, because if it's my idea, I'll be very upset.
I can't tell you my idea.
Yeah, a couple of bits floating around that jump out straight away.
Oh, cool. I'm really, really looking forward to them. That'll be fun. Because as I was writing this, I was more like, I can't wait to read everyone else's. And that's why I sort of like took the burden of like explaining as much as I physically possibly could, so that you guys can just go like, time, how do they rectify, what's gone wrong, what do they rectify, and go on. As I mentioned, it's a spec script, so it's going to be like episode 2 of Quantum Leap, but it's episode 2 of Sudden Leap.
Sudden Leap. Can I use your title card thing again, please?
Oh yeah. I will. I did actually think I'm going to put that on the in the file, so I'll put it in the documents file so that you can use that logo. It is the actual font of Quantum Leap. But I can never get it to look right. I was going to make an intro for it, but I thought it's a bit like presumptive of like me doing an episode and going like, yeah, everyone's gonna do it.
I'll create this whole opening theme sequence to
I know. Oh, my camera's gone.
it. It's funny. It goes back to what Luke was saying before, though, with the whole like sitcom sort of turn to camera thing. We could do all that. That'd be good.
Oh yeah,
Like
that'd
the
be, yeah,
Quantum
like,
Leap sort of. Like,
oh, I'd love that. I was going to I thought it would be really funny if I when I made the intro, I was going to use the Quantum Leap one and like paste your faces, so paste Burge and Adam's faces on like their respective Quantum Leap characters. I thought that'd be really funny, but I ended up not doing that. Unfortunately, well, my camera's died on me, so yeah, don't know what we should
Camera
do now.
2.
I could possibly do
Cool.
camera 2 actually.
Been a pleasure,
No,
gents.
can't even do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pleasure as always.
Easy.
Yeah, excellent
Good
job, Ella.
times. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Beautiful.
I'm waving.
Cheers,
I'm
Yola.
waving.
Thanks for watching.
I'm waving.